Hello and welcome to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how your kids can be polar opposites. So the big question is this: how are parents like us, who don't have a manual, who are doing the best we can, who feel as though we aren't enough, how are we going to raise healthy, happy children who we are proud of and still keep our sanity in that process? That's the question, and this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Ryan Roy, and welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, a podcast for parents who are being real with themselves. Hello, and welcome back to this episode of I Don't Know Jack About Parenting, where today I'm going to be talking about how your kids can be absolute polar opposites. How do I know? That's my experience thus far. If you're listening to me for the first time, welcome to I Don't Know Jack About Parenting. My name is Ryan Roy, author of the book Be the Dad You Wish You Had. I have an 8-year-old boy and a 2-year-old boy. They're 6 years and 2 weeks apart. And I remember joking to my wife, I said, I don't know if I want to have another child because this first one is such an amazing kid. We've had virtually zero challenges. And I said, and I know that both, if any other child we will have is going to be way different than this one. We are just blessed when it comes to this one. And I will tell you that is holding true thus far. Terrible twos did not exist with the first one. I kept thinking to myself, why does anybody ever say there's a terrible twos? It's just like... It just seemed like everything with the first one was just seamless. The second one thinks he's the boss. This one is very opinionated. This one stomps around. This one has attitude. The other one is very sweet, calm, cool, collected, considerate. And it's just funny to watch the two different personalities. So what made me think about this particular episode is they both attended the same, and one still attends the same preschool, daycare, and they both entered about age 1. So my older one was there for 5.5, maybe 6 years, on and off. Once he got into grade school, kindergarten, he still got transported from kindergarten over there till 5 o'clock when we could pick him up as parents. So he did that for the first 3 years of school. So it's literally been about 6 years that he was there. The other one has been there since he's 9 months old. And here's the thing that really got me. First of all, they noticed, because a lot of the same teachers are like, they look alike, but they don't act alike. And everyone always talked about how sweet the first one was, and everybody's talking about they're not the same child. And I think I know what they mean. They're just being nice by saying that. They say it with a smile. They know we know. But this is the documentation of it. The other day, once kids in this school reach 2 years old, any incident that happens, they have to document it. So they do a little written boo-boo report, or he hit somebody report, or he scratched someone report, or he pushed somebody report, and all of these reports, just so you know, have been recorded thus far for my second one. He turned 2 last Friday. I am recording this on a Saturday. So he is 2 years old and, a week, 8 days. So before I get into any of that, let me tell you that my older son, I didn't know what one of these reports was. Literally, when he was about 5 years old, one of his friend's dads, which I got to know pretty well, was holding one of these pink slips. And he's talking to the teacher. I walk in, hey, how you doing? A little bit of small talk. Joe, everything good? Everything's good. And I said, what you got in your hand? And he looks down at it. He looks at me and he's like, what do you mean? I said, what's that in your hand? Again, he looks down and he looks at me with perplexity. He says, you don't know what this is? I said, no. What is it? He goes, I got a whole stack of these at home. Don't tell me you don't know what this is. I don't know what it is. He says, whenever he does something he's not supposed to do, I get one of these I have to sign off on so that it's documented. He goes, you really serious? You don't have any of these? I said, well, for your sake, I hate to say no, but it's the first one I've ever seen. I said, hey, let's put it this way. At least your son, which was really good friends, and actually, even though they've been apart 3 years, still really good friends with my son. They still spend time together. I said, hey, look, at the very least, he picks good company. And he walked away kind of perplexed. So my son, older, never got one of these slips. Last Tuesday, I walk in, and there's 2 of these I have to sign. Wednesday, I don't pick them up, but Thursday, I pick them up, and he has the 3rd one I need to sign. When I walk by the office of the administration office, which I'm friends with them, we've been with them 7 years now, I said, you know, Christian never got one of these. Jaden turned 2 on Friday, which means these are the first 2 days that he could actually get one, and I'm 2 for 2 right now. So as I walk by on Thursday, I just holding my little boy in his arm, and I said to him, I said, just walk by, I held up the new slip, and I said, we're 3 for 4, and they just laughed hysterically. My point being, look, I don't know jack about parenting, and I like to think I'm doing as much as I possibly can right. And you think you're doing everything right. And I've always said, like, how can 2 kids who come from the same parents be so different? And now I know, simply because they have their own personalities, their own experiences with the parents. And I'm going to take some ownership in this. And parents, take some ownership for yourselves. I don't get as much dedicated time with the younger one as I did with the older one. Why? Because the younger one, or the older one, didn't have an older brother that was going to baseball practice, wasn't going to school functions, wasn't getting picked up and dropped off at school. He wasn't in school because he didn't have this older brother, and there's only so much dedicated time we could give to each one of them, and the first one got a ton of it. So I recognize that it's just a different season with 2 kids, and they're possibly, their personalities are different, but more importantly than that, I got to recognize as a parent, I am different as a parent. Why? Just because the dynamic of multiple kids. So appreciate that they have differences, but parents, as you grow and learn and look at your kids, realize that you're different. You're a different person, you're a different parent, and embrace that. There are times where I look and I say, man, I don't give the little one as much time as the other one had, and it kind of bothers me, but he has different experiences because he has an older brother to watch and learn and grow from, and somebody else to love on him that the other one didn't. So it has its positives, it has its negatives, but at the end of the day, it is what it is, and just embrace how they can be polar opposites, even though they come from the same parents. See you in the next episode. Do you want to be the dad you wish you had? If so, go get my free book, Be the Dad You Wish You Had, at BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com. Inside, you'll find my most effective 40 tips to quickly and easily transform yourself into the ideal dad. Go to BeTheDadYouWishYouHad.com now and get it while it's free.